Do we remember from which till what stage, which slope Manipur completed? I think we don't need this.
One.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Or do we need the mic? Do we remember till what slok Manipur? I'm so out of breath. Sorry.
Sorry, I can't remember.
Yes. Do you remember? No. Is it 28 perhaps? Were you there? Oh, well, let's start from 28 anyway. 6.28. We just quickly do Jai Radha Mother or. Yeah? Hare Krishna everyone. So, I welcome you all on behalf of Skandabin. I apologize for being late. That's been a long day for me work-wise, and then there was a bit of a traffic while commuting here. So, yeah, we'll kick off straight on. So we'll start with this bhajan. It's like a call and response, so I'll sing and you repeat. श्री श्री पंचतत्व भगवान की
जय।
श्री श्री जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की
जय।
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरवरधारी जय
राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरवरधारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरवरधारी
जय राधा
यमुना तीर वनचारी यमुना तीर वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरवरधारी यशोदानन्दना यमुना तीरवनचारी
Jai.
We'll do a bit of a Mangalachara. Om Agyantimirandhasya Gyananjanashlakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayagurupakadamayam Tadadipa Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutakaput Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutakapatakamelam Shri Gurun Shri Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadhvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahita Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Balan Sahadana Shri Lalita Shri Vishakavatanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpari Gopesh Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Prive Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Jai Shri Prabhupada. Right. So today we are going to do this is a reading session for Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6. I think so. This is a regular class that happens every Friday, and I don't know if everybody has a copy of Bhagavad Gita with us, but in case you don't have, you can open it on your phone. You can just type like BG 6.28 and the first link of Veda base will appear, and you can just click and we'll do a reading together. So it's not a class where I'm sitting here preaching, but I'd like to make this class a bit of a collaborative one where we all engage. And at the end of the class, I'll open the floor for questions. Anybody has any question, they can ask. Right, I'm still in that rushed mode. I literally ran upstairs here, so my speech and my thinking is not coordinating very well today. All right, 6.28. Are you going to say? Oh, so. Hare Krishna. Right. So, in this chapter, it's called Dhyan Yoga, where you know how Arjun, I don't know how many of you are reading Gita for the first time? You are, okay. You are as well. Jai. Very good. You are as well? No, not a problem. So, just to give set up a bit of a context here, that Gita starts when Arjun is very, very confused. He is not able to make a decision where he should continue fighting this war, and he gives various reasons to Krishna not to fight this war, and then Krishna, once he runs out of his different reasons that he was giving to Krishna, what happens? He then surrenders to Krishna and accepts him as his guru, and then Krishna starts imparting knowledge to him. What is the real knowledge? Who are we? What is this world? What is the connection of R and Bhagavan? How to rekindle that relationship with Bhagavan? So different knowledge Krishna starts imparting to Arjun, so that he is in future, like he'll be able to make a decision and then just decide what is right and then engage in the war. So in this chapter, basically, Arjun has asked a lot of questions, and Krishna is trying to explain like what should be a quality of a true yogi. Okay, what is it? So it is said that in this particular yuga, like we have 4 yuga, Satyug, Dwapar, Treta, and Kali Yuga difference. Every yuga has its own, own way of achieving God. So every yuga has its own principles, and in this yuga it is said that Harinam Sankirtan, or taking or chanting the name of the Lord, is the biggest yajna. Right? When we, for example, for those of you, I'm just setting a bit of a context here, that we go to a pharmacy and we see that, there are so many medicines, but we only can get those medicine where with a prescription. Like we cannot really say, I like this medicine, I like the color of this medicine, so I can have it. It's based on the disease that one person has. He or she should be prescribed a particular medicine. It is that kind of thing. That it is said that we have a bhava rog, that we are so attached to this material world, and it is kind of a disease. And how to attain our original self. We are souls, not this body. The first knowledge that Krishna imparts to Arjuna, that why are you crying? You're not this body, you're a soul, and soul is eternal. So that's the reason. The prescribed way to achieve our own self and to rekindle our relationship with God, it is chanting, taking the holy names of the Lord. And how can one? Mind is our biggest enemy. It doesn't let us sit and meditate. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, what is the best way to kind of focus or take control of your mind and move that in the direction of the devotional service to God. Okay? So I cannot cover everything. It's a very, very detailed thing, but just to set a bit of a context so that it's a bit interesting for you to sit in the class. Alright? I'm going to be referring a lot to my notes because it's a lot. But anybody wants to, Keith, do you want to go and read the first shloka and the purport?
I've only got it in English. That's okay.
Yeah.
Thus, the self-controlled yogi, constantly engaged in yoga practice, becomes free from all material contamination and achieves the highest stage of perfect happiness in transcendental loving service to the Lord. Self-realization means knowing one's constitutional position in relationships to the Supreme. The individual soul is part and parcel of the Supreme, and his position is to render transcendental service to the Lord. This transcendental contact with the Supreme is called Brahman Samsaparasa.
Right, thank you. So, just to touch on 27, I will start from there, it's 28. So, in 27, Krishna was telling Arjuna that, what is the difference between us and Krishna? What is the difference between, what do you think? How do we and the Lord, how do we differ? I think this is something I covered in my last class. We are same in terms of what? Quality. We are soul, we are eternal part and parcel of the Lord, but we are same in terms of quality. That we are such an anand, we are eternal as souls, we are eternally happy, we are in bliss all the time. So does God. But in quantitative oneness, we are not the same. We have a limitation, right? We are just a particle in this big ocean. And God is that ocean. So God is that ocean, we are just drop from that ocean. That's difference. There are a lot of differences. This is one of the differences. And that water so God is also independent reality. He is not bound by these three modes of material nature. We are. We work in the mode of goodness. We work in the mode of passion. We work in the mode of ignorance. All these three modes of nature, it applies on us. But God is beyond that mode of nature. So, Krishna is trying to tell Arjuna that seeing everything in connection with God, in the beginning there is a big effort that is required. What does it mean? Like when we meditate, what are we doing basically? What are we trying to achieve when we meditate?
Connecting with the superpower, to God.
True. What else?
Calmness.
Yes, we are trying to bring our mind under control. Like our mind is running in different directions. Mind can be our biggest enemy and can be our greatest friend. Krishna says this. It is a saying that a mind can make you Jesus or Hitler. So control the mind. It's a mind that makes you do things that is not, you're not supposed to be doing. Like for instance, to make it easy, We know that it's good to do some sort of in the morning. It's good to wake up in the morning to go for a good walk. But what does our mind say? So our intellect says it is very good for your body. It's very nice. But what does our mind say? 5 more minutes. Snooze off the alarm. It's more nice. So yeah, if we use more of our intellect, then our life becomes more easier. It's more disciplined. We have less troubles, But if we let our mind control us, what happens? We are moving in a very haphazard way. We are not organized. But what happens? Stress occurs. Even if I do not talk from the spiritual plane, in the material world also, if we are not organized, then what happens? Suddenly there's this heap of work starts to, the work starts to heap up, and then what happens? We are stressed. So Krishna is trying to tell that, when we are trying to build that connection with the Lord, in the beginning, mind is very, very chanchal. It runs from one direction to another. But if we keep on doing that practice, then suddenly we realize that mind is able to focus on one thing. So when we chant, what are we doing? We are just trying to bring focus of our mind on that chanting. That's it. We are not trying to mentally concoct anything that, oh my God, how does this, what is God and something like that. No, all we are trying to do is bring our focus of the mind to be completely present in chanting. If I'm taking a syllable, my mind should be like, okay, this is how the syllable is. But it's like we chant or we do any kind of meditation and mind is in different direction, thinking about, oh, laundry is there. Oh, I have to do this errand. I have to run this errands. Like that. So that's all we were doing. But it is saying that earlier effort is required. But when we continuously practice this, what happens? Our mind naturally runs towards it. We want to chant. Not that we have to chant. Okay, we have to, oh God, we have to meditate, we have to do certain rounds now it comes very naturally to you. Okay? So when we are free from passion, we become sinless, we become God realized, and then we experience Sukham Uttamam. That means highest bliss. And highest bliss a soul can only achieve when he is thoroughly engaged in the devotional service of the Lord through anything. Sometimes when we say devotional service, people can come to temple and do some service, help someone in the cooking. So utilizing your body that God has given you with in the service of the Lord. And then only a soul can achieve Uttamam Sukham. In the previous shloka, those two words are, which means highest bliss. Now, in the 28th verse, Krishna says that thus he concludes that the self-control yogi, what happens? Thus, uniting the self with the God, become free from material contamination and being in constant touch with the Supreme, achieves the highest state of perfect happiness. Our body, that we have God, like this human form of body, is meant for what? When we say that, why are we born? Why do you think we are born?
To serve God.
To serve God. We wanted to run away from the spiritual world. Like I don't want to go down that path, but it's like we didn't want to, stay there. We wanted to taste something or serve Krishna away, not in that specific succession. Or we wanted to serve him free, independently. So Bhagwan created this world. But in the same way, he wanted to make us realize this is not your original home. So it is said that human body is given so that we realize what is the real position of ours. There are different animals on this planet, but not everybody is as lucky as a human being. Because when we get this body, we are able to sit here and read the Shastras and understand what exactly is our position. Why are we born? And how do I go back to my original self? Okay? Right, so that was 28. 29, anybody wants to read? You want to go? Or maybe I'll read this one. You can, okay. The verse and the meaning.
Sarva Bhuta Stham Atmanam Sarva Bhutani Tatmani Iksate Yoga Yuktatma Sarvatra Sama Darshana. A true yogi observes me in all beings and also sees every being in me. Indeed, the self-realized person sees me, the same Supreme Lord, everywhere.
Purport.
Okay. A Krishna conscious yogi is the perfect seer because he sees Krishna, the Supreme situated in everyone's heart and super soul. Isvara Sarva Bhutanam.
Hrideshe Arjun Tishtati.
The Lord in his Paramatma feature is situated within both the heart of the dog and of the Brahmana. The perfect yogi knows that the Lord is eternally transcendental and is not materially affected by his presence in either a dog or a Brahmana. That is the supreme neutrality of the Lord. The individual soul is also situated in the individual heart, but he is not present in all hearts. That is the distinction between the individual soul and the super soul. One who is not factually in the practice of yoga cannot see clearly. A Krishna conscious person can see Krishna in the heart of both the believer and the non-believer. In the Smriti, this is confirmed as follows. Atatat vacha
Atatat vacha matri vacha atma hi parmo harihi.
The Lord, being the source of all beings, is like the mother and the maintainer. As the mother is the neutral to all different kinds of children, the Supreme Father or Mother is also. Consequently, the Supreme Super Soul is always in every living being. Outwardly, also, every living being is situated in the energy of the Lord. As we explained in the 7th chapter, the Lord has primarily two energies, the spiritual and the material. The living entity, although part of the supreme energy, is conditioned by inferior energy. The living entity is always in the Lord's energy. Every living entity is situated in him in one way or another. The yogi sees equally because he sees that all living entities, although in different situations, according to the results of fruitive work, in all circumstances, remain the servants of God. While in the material energy, the living entity serves the material senses, and while in the spiritual energy, he serves the Supreme Lord of Divinity. In either case, the living entity is the servant of God. The vision of equality is perfect in a person in Krishna consciousness.
So the person, what is important? That a person, a true yogi, what does he do? He sees God in each and every living entity. What is the impact? So the people who sees every God in everything, he won't harm anybody, right? Not to be against anybody who eats meat or whatever, but it's a true yogi won't do, because there is karuna, there is mercy. It will be so difficult to kill a living entity. Why? Because we see that there is an entity, there is a soul residing in that body. And just for the sake of taste, what happens? People kill animals and then eat. So, true yogi, what's that? Consciousness unite with God when we see with equal eyes all living beings in God and God in all living beings. So, all living beings in God, we are all part and parcel of the Lord. So, even if, like this age is called age of quarrel. Even if there are disagreements, even if there is a fight, at the end what happens? That that's the nature of the person. He's also a child of God, and then what happens? We try to like mend ways in that way, and we see God in every living entity. That God is, and that's the quality that one should adopt. Like a true Brahmin or true yogi is what who see a dog eater. It is said, it's one of the shlokas of it. A Brahmin, a dog eater, or all the living beings on earth with equal vision. Right? So, for example, take the example of Diwali. So on Diwali, we see sweets. Different sweets are there, like the sugary sweets, which are in different forms. Especially in the north, like I come from Varanasi, and there's the sweets that they sell during Diwali, which are just casted in different forms. Like those sweets will be in elephant form, chicken form, right? With puffed rice. So you fill those little pots and then you offer it to your brother at the end of the day. So that's one of the rituals. And what happened is that I may fight, I may argue with my parents saying that I want the, or children, when I was little, it's like I want the elephant shaped sweets, or I want the chicken shaped sweet. And our parents would be, because they have that knowledge, they'll be like, children, so just take, like it's everything is the same. No, I want that particular one. I like the elephant more. But at the end, what it is? Sweets, right? So similarly, the ingredient of everything that exists is God Himself, and in the form of His various energies. Like for sun is there, it's one of His energies. So what happens? Sun is there, and the light, it goes everywhere. Even if the light falls on a cow dung or a urine or a flower or something, it doesn't say that no, I'm not going to touch that cow dung that is lying there. What happens? It purifies basically. It's just that then those what are the cow dung cakes, and then that is used in the fire to cook, right? So what is sun doing? Treating everybody equally. God is like that, right? So God with His various energies, and this is a different topic to be like delved into, but He pervades into everything and sustains and maintains everything by His various energies. Like it is said that God expands Himself in the Paramatma form, and He resides with us, our soul and the Paramatma together. So that's why when we go, He's there every life after life, lifetime after lifetime, just to remind us that once you take your face away from this world and towards me. When I was talking about what is the original, why are we born? What did I say? What did we cover now? Why do we take human, like what is the purpose of human form of life? Yeah, to realize who we are and to serve Him. There is this very beautiful, there are different acharyas you see on the altar, the different Vaishnava acharyas, and one of the acharyas, he writes, and it's a very beautiful prayer if anybody wants to go and listen. It is called, I'll just say the 2 lines that it says, Hari Hari Bipale Janam Goainu Manushya Janam Paya Radha Krishna Na Bhajiya Janiya Shuniya Vish Khainu Hari Hari Bipale Janam Goainu. What does it mean? That Hari Hari Bipale Janam Goainu. That this human form that we took, we wasted it. Bipale Janam. Bipal is unsuccessful. We were supposed to realize and our original identity, go back home, back to God. But what did we do? We didn't do anything. We didn't do any austerity. We didn't take the names of the Lord with this tongue. We wasted our life. And we don't know what our next destination is going to be. Whether we'll come back as a human form of life, we don't know. So this is there's an urgency. When when we are born in the human form of life. You know, so Bipulya Janam going. Manushya Janam Paya, we took this human form of life. Radha Krishna Nabhajiya, never took the names of the Lord. And Janiya Shuniya Vishikhainu, we knew that, you know, we are looking for so much of pleasure outside. But what happens? Pleasure after, like, we are continuously desiring something, we are getting bored of one thing, moving on to another, not getting satisfied, moving on to another, not getting satisfied. And what is happening? Knowingly, we are just taking the poison of the world. Not that this world is poison and not to go in that context, but unnecessarily things that doesn't really, like, you know, nourish our soul. We are just dwelling on those things, and what happens? At the end of the life, we are gone. Yeah, and the end of the life just gone, and then wasted our human life. Right? In basically, in our culture, we talk about moksha. Right? It's like at the end, people seek liberation. Okay, so what happened? We didn't do anything about it, and then death is a reality, right? We didn't do anything, or we didn't take the name of the Lord, and this human form of life went to waste. So, realized soul know this, right? Everybody is on the path, on this devotional path, but one who has truly achieved that level of knowledge and that devotion in their heart, they see everybody with equal eyes. That's what Krishna is emphasizing. Are you okay to proceed? Okay, super. I was a bit late today. We generally start at 6. So, Prabhuji has given me the nod to continue. Okay? So, 30. Do you want to read? Right, and 30, maybe I'll read this. Yoma pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sa cha me na pranashyati. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, nor is he ever lost to me. Purport by Jagadguru Srila Bhagvad ki Jai. A person in Krishna consciousness certainly sees Lord Krishna everywhere, and he sees everything in Krishna. Such a person may appear to see all separate manifestations of the material nature, but in each and every instance he is conscious of Krishna, knowing that everything is a manifestation of Krishna's energy. Nothing can exist without Krishna, and Krishna is the Lord of everything. This is the basic principle of Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is the development of love of Krishna, a potential transcendental even to material liberation. At this stage of Krishna consciousness, beyond self-realization, the devotee becomes one with Krishna in the sense that Krishna becomes everything for the devotee, and the devotee becomes full in loving Krishna. An intimate relationship between the Lord and the devotee then exists. In that stage, the living entity can never be annihilated, nor is the personality of Godhead ever out of sight of the devotee. To merge in Krishna is spiritual annihilation. A devotee takes no such risk. It is stated in the Brahma Samhita, Premananjana Churita Bhakti Vilocha Nena Santah Sadeva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shyama Sundaram Achantas Guna Sarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. I worship the primeval Lord Govinda, who is always seen by the devotee, whose eyes are anointed with the pulp of love. He is seen in his eternal form of Shyam Sundar, situated within the heart of the devotee. At this stage, Lord Krishna never disappears from the sight of the devotee, nor does the devotee ever lose sight of the Lord. In the case of a yogi who sees the Lord as Paramatma within the heart, the same applies. Such a yogi turns into a pure devotee and cannot bear to live for a moment without seeing the Lord himself. So what is Krishna saying here? That for those who see me everywhere and see all things in me, I am never lost, nor they are ever lost to me. There is this one line that in the purport that we says that the devotee becomes one with Krishna in the sense that Krishna becomes everything for the devotee and the devotee becomes full in loving Krishna. Krishna becomes everything for the devotee. Can we name someone? So name a very revered devotee for whom Krishna was everything.
Surgas.
Meera.
Surgas.
Mirabai Surdas.
Goswami.
With different Vaishnavacharyas, of course. So, you know how every opulence was there for Mirabai. But she had a deep, deep love for Krishna. Okay? So, Krishna is saying that for those who see me everywhere and see all things in me, I am never lost, and nor they are ever lost to me. There is this also one very today is what Holi, Happy Holi, and this I just saw the name and I was like, so who is that devotee? And there is this pastime because of which we celebrate Holi. Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj is there. So Prahlad Maharaj was asked by his father. What was the name of the father? Hiranyakashipu. He was asked by his father, so where is your God? Prahlad Maharaj said, everywhere. Okay, in this pillar as well? Yes. And then like he thrashed the pillar and Bhagwan Narasimhadev appeared. Okay? So, a devotee who knows that this world belongs to, we think we are the doer. Our mind makes us think that we are doing things. But actually in reality, that's not the case. Okay? So Prahlad Maharaj is aware of this, that this world belongs to whom? Not mine, Bhagavan. And he says to his father that yes, he is there in the pillar. Is he there in the pillar? Yes, he is there in the pillar. So he thrashes, demolishes the pillar, and what happens? Bhagavan comes. For what? To do what? To save his devotees. So whenever Bhagavan appears in every yuga, takes like he appeared as Ram, Varahadev, so many forms he appeared in, to fulfill certain purpose based on the level of consciousness that is there developed within that particular period, and also to what? To save his devotees, to do pastimes that relishes the heart of their devotees. If a true devotee would listen to Krishna's pastime or Ram pastimes, they're more interested in it. It's like, so what happened next? What did he do? How did he save the devotees? That is the case. So, a devotee sees spirit in matter also. What is the difference between spirit and matter? Anybody wants to?
Matter is tangible, spirit is not.
Pardon?
Matter is tangible, spirit is not.
Spirit is there so that his body is there, moving. Clear example. You know, when the spirit leaves, the soul leaves the body, what happened? It's just there. There was something that led, right? That's why the body is there. So, a devotee knows that, even if in the matter also he sees spirit. Prahlad Maharaj is a great example. That everything is Krishna. So that's why the pillar, yes. But a non-devotee can see, even in the spirit, to see matter. I am me, you are you, she is she, I'm Indian, this is Irish, etc., etc. Lot of segregations are there. Why? Because I'm thinking from the bodily conception of like, this is mine, this is my body, this is my possession, my family, my work, my paraphernalia, whatever. Right? But a devotee sees that spirit even in the matter. This is beautiful temple, we are all gathered together. What are we doing? Like this temple is, this space, this property is utilized in the service of Lord, in the service of his devotees. Okay? So the easy way to unite the mind with God is to learn to see everything in its connection with Him. I am drinking water. Krishna says, I am the taste of water. How can we constantly remember Krishna? So that I am Shiv among different Rudra. Different, like there's one chapter where he talks only about his paraphernalias, his opulence, right? And it's one of my favorite chapters. So even the taste of water is Krishna. So how do we make sure that we are focusing our mind? Our mind is very, very present in the chanting that we are doing. Our mind is very, very present in remembering Krishna. Is to make ourselves aware that it's not nothing belongs to us. It has been given by us, given by God. He's very, very merciful that He has given all this beautiful life to us. But at the same time, to be able to serve Him, to develop that original relationship with Him. Okay? Like one more example that I have written here. Yeah, for example, I think this is something that we covered last time also. For example, somebody hurts us. Very, very common thing. Anybody can say very harsh things to us. Or some things that do not go as per our desire. Things are not favorable to us. What happens? What sort of feelings develop within us? Anger. Rage. Grudge. Yes. Perfect. What else? Sadness. Hatred. Frustration. All the words like, what else? Like, look, think, what do I feel basically? And what word you? Why me? Very good. Why me? Why not him? Why not her? What else? So everybody feels something, right? Mataji said sadness. Prabhuji said frustration, anger, hatred, grudge, pain. Why me? One word I want from everybody. Depression. We are depressed. It's like you're going in to get that answer, but what exactly, how do I feel? Anyone else? Disappointment. That's true for Prabhuji. Okay, so there are two ways to look at it. Not that somebody is really bad to us and we have to justify that by being very, very oh my God, that's how it is, that's my God. No, not in that way I'm trying to project, but I'm trying to make us think what Krishna is trying to teach us is that there are two ways to look at it. One is that we may think, since God has said, Krishna is saying that I reside in all living beings. So maybe there is this quality in us like we are very, very angry all the time. And what happens? A lot of times, a situation repeats in front of us so that we learn from it and then grow. Like you'll see in your real life, in your life also different experiences that we go through certain things that we are feeling that's feeling again and again, like we're frustrated for a particular piece again and at one point we are like, we don't care. So then you're like, oh, that I must be growing up. It doesn't affect me anymore. Right? So, since Krishna is residing in each and living being, maybe this is a situation He has brought in front of me to develop what? To be more patient. To develop more patience, to develop the virtue of tolerance, a learning factor. And if it's a very, very little thing that has upset us, and after a while we get over it, of course. But in that present moment, if we think like that, what happens? Suddenly there is a shift in our thinking. So you know what? Yeah, maybe this is something I need to be working on. Sometimes we blame people, but in majority of the scenario, it is us that we are fighting against, right? So not becoming the victim of the sentiments and thinking it's the grace of God, brings a shift in our perspective. And this is something that Krishna is telling us to develop. Make sense? Okay. 31. Who wants to read? Prabhuji, do you want to read?
I actually have a different version of Gita.
Yeah, so you can take that. 6.31. Those who do not have, hold on, sorry. So you can open your phone and type 6.31. Database first name will appear, and then that's what we are reading. Yes, sorry. Go on.
सर्वभूतस्थं यो मां भजति एकत्वम् आश्रिता सर्वथा वर्तमानो पिसायोगी मायि वर्तते.
The meaning?
So situated in everyone's heart, he who serves in devotional service, in oneness.
Sorry, where are you reading? We are reading 31.
Yeah.
Such a yogi. That's like a good spirit. Everybody's trying to help him, which is very nice.
A yogi who is practicing meditation on the super soul sees within himself the plenary portion of Krishna as Vishnu, with 4 hands holding conch shell, wheel, club and lotus flower. The yogi should know that Vishnu is not different from Krishna. Krishna in this form of super soul is situated in everyone's heart. Furthermore, there is no difference between the innumerable super souls present in the innumerable hearts of living entities. Nor is there a difference between a Krishna conscious person always engaged in the transcendental loving service of Krishna and a perfect yogi engaged in meditation on the super soul. The yogi in Krishna consciousness, even though he may be engaged in various activities while in material existence, remains always situated in Krishna. This is confirmed in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu of Srila Rupa Goswami. Nikhilasva api avastasu jivan mukta sa uchyate. A devotee of the Lord, always acting in Krishna consciousness, is automatically liberated. In the Narada Pancharatra, this is confirmed in this way.
Tikkaladi anavachchine Krishna cheto vidhayacha tanmayo bhavati kshipram jivo brahmani yojayet.
By concentrating one's attention on the transcendental form of Krishna, who is all-pervading and beyond time and space, one becomes absorbed in thinking of Krishna and then attains the happy state of transcendental association with him. Krishna consciousness is the highest stage of trance in yoga practice. This is very understanding that Krishna is present as Paramatma in everyone's heart makes the yogi faultless. The Vedas, Gopala Tapani Upanishad 121, confirm this inconceivable potency of the Lord as follows. Ekopi san bhuta bahuda yo vabhati. Although the Lord is one, he is present in innumerable hearts as many. Similarly, in Smriti Shastra, it is said, Eka eva paro Vishnu sarvavyapi na samsyaha. Aishvaryad rupam ekam cha suryavat bahudiryate. Vishnu is one and yet he is certainly all pervading. By his inconceivable potency, in spite of his one form, he is present everywhere, as the sun appears in many places at once.
Jai, thank you. very important that Vishnu is one and yet he is certainly all pervading. So Krishna expands himself. Bhagwan expands himself as Paramatma Tattva. Paramatma, but Tattva, the essence behind this is the same. He is Bhagavan. There is no change. And for devotees who worship Bhagwan in a form that he is there, the Paramatma Roop does the same word. For example, I'll just give like while you might be thinking, oh, what's Paramatma, what's Bhagavan, what. So there are three forms in which basically people worship Bhagwan. Bhagwan's like there is no form. So some people say there is no form of Lord and they dwell on that thing. But there is a form, like for example, a tube light is there and the light comes out of it. But there is a form and the light. So some people dwell on that light form of Bhagwan, the Jyoti, that there is a Jyoti and we are worshipping. So that's the light that emanates from his body, and some people prefer to worship that. Now some people worship on the Paramatma form, the form that's the localized soul. The Paramatma, like I said, Bhagwan expands with every living being, and residing in our hearts. So that's the Paramatma form that people like to meditate, go inside. And the devotees of the Lord, what they do? They worship the form of the Lord, how he is, with two hands, with a flute and everything. So, Krishna expands himself in different forms, but the tattva that he is Bhagwan remains the same. It doesn't change. Oh, he's in the light form, so now there are little things that he has appeared maybe with less paraphernalias or less of his qualities, but that doesn't change the fact. But for a devotee, because we are worshipping the form of the Lord, it does everything that a Paramatma form can do. So for us, it's the same, with the devotees of the Lord. In the material consciousness, people can see, like I covered, that I am different, you are different. I come from this country, you come from different country. There's different caste, creed, color, religion, etc. But for the person, this is material consciousness. Like we think from a material plane that we are very, very different. There are a lot of. But when we take this consciousness to a higher plane, what happens? What do we see? What does one will see if they think a little bit above than what they are thinking? What do you think? Give it a try.
God.
That we all are souls. So when I was talking about, of course, God is different thing. I was talking about that from a material plane of life, or from material consciousness, what are we seeing? Lot of differences among us. But when we think from a superior consciousness or a spiritual consciousness, what it is? We are all souls. We have the same quality as Bhagwan has. We are all part and parcel of the Lord. We all are servitors of the Lord. Okay? And that brings a lot of comfort that, oh God, we are all family. Vasudeva Kutumbakam this is the essence that, So, that's what Krishna says in 31. We do have 10 more minutes. So those who have joined now, I welcome all of you. We are doing a reading of chapter 6, which is called Dhyana Yoga. Every Friday this reading happens. Basically, Temple President Manprabhu takes this lecture, so I'm covering for him today. Right, 32. From the new person who has joined. Who wants to read? Prabhuji, want to read? Prabhuji, want to read? 32, okay. I read, no problem. You can now.
आत्मोपनयन सर्वत्र समपश्यति योऽर्जुन सुखम वा यदि वा दुखम स योगी परमो मतः. Purport. One who is Krishna conscious is a perfect yogi. He is aware of everyone's happiness and distress by dint of his own personal experience. The cause of the distress of a living entity is forgetfulness of his relationship with God, and the cause of happiness is knowing Krishna to be the supreme enjoyer of all the activities of the human being, the proprietor of all lands and planets, and the sincerest friend of all living entities. The perfect yogi knows that the living being who is conditioned by the modes of material nature is subjected to the threefold material miseries due to forgetfulness of his relationship with Krishna. And because one in Krishna consciousness is happy, he tries to distribute the knowledge of Krishna everywhere. Since the perfect yogi tries to broadcast the importance of becoming Krishna conscious, he is the best philanthropist in the world, and he is the dearest servitor of the Lord. Nach tashman manushya me priya kirtama. In other words, a devotee of the Lord always looks to the welfare of all living entities, and in this way he is factually the friend of everyone. He is the best yogi because he does not desire perfection in yoga for his personal benefit, but tries for others also. He does not envy his fellow living entities. Here is a contrast between a pure devotee of the Lord and yogi interested only in his personal elevation. The yogi who is withdrawn to secluded places in order to meditate perfectly may not be as perfect as a devotee who is trying his best to turn every man towards Krishna consciousness.
Jai, thank you, Prabhuji. So, who is a true yogi? A true devotee of the Lord who sees everything in connection with Krishna. And also, they know the dualities of life that exist. When we go, every element of earth has its own qualities, right? If we go into the water, then what happens? There's this, like for us, there has to be a specific way where we'll breathe while swimming. But for fishes, they come naturally because it's their habitat, correct? For us, the land is our habitat. Similarly, for the soul, it is said this is not the habitat. So if I am trying to live within a water which is not suitable for me, what will happen? I'll die. Because that's not the environment. So for a soul, it is said that this world is not the real place. And that's why we are constantly, because the nature of this world is giving us pain and there's good and bad, there's crests and troughs, and there's valleys and there's mountains. So there are dualities of life, happiness, distress. So that will continue. Can someone claim, any of us sitting over here, claim that I'm always happy, or I'm always in pain, and I'm that's never gonna happen. There might be that a certain feeling or a certain situation is there for an extended period of time, but it necessarily does not mean that that's the only thing that we are experiencing. Correct? Things change. Then we roll with it. If we roll with it, we are fine. But we are stuck like, no, I want this particular thing. This is not happening accordingly. Then we start to get a bit frustrated. But that's the nature of this world. That to throw us in different dualities of life. But who is a true yogi? Who is a true devotee of the Lord? Who is very, very well aware of these dualities of life, and they know that seeing them, this is what the reality of life is. This is how the world works. So to try to be more, they practice to be more patience. They develop. They try to be, and they try to not be very affected by it. This shall pass. Let's focus on something forward, the goal of life, like that. So, and also they are also aware that every living being on this earth is also part and parcel of God. So they try to take all the different souls, pull them towards God, towards goodness, towards God. And such a yogi is the true well-wisher of all living beings. Never envy of other living beings, how the situation is. Someone might get a lot of wealth, prosperity, whatever, and somebody is like, oh my God, he doesn't even deserve it, doesn't have the quality. But the true yogi sees that this is how the world works. People get things based on their karma, whatever. That's a different topic to be discussed. But then I'm focusing, what Krishna is focusing here, the qualities of a yogi. And if I harm someone, if I harm my limb, one of my limbs or my hands, what exactly am I doing? I'm harming myself, right? So similarly, all the living beings on earth, they're part and parcel of God. And if I'm harming someone, basically I'm harming myself. So that consciousness needs to come. It's not there, it needs to be developed. And those who have developed it is a true yogi. So from 6.10 to 6. I think Krishna finishes at 3.5 or something, that he keeps on discussing about what is the true qualities of yogi. Basically focuses on 5, but I'll stop here because it's a heavy chapter, and Manaprabhu will pick up from next time. So those who come on Friday, I don't know how many of you, but try to come. Like, we do a lot of discussions. There are questions and answers that we ask. And if you do not have a copy of Gita, I don't know if you are doing who will be it, but I'd really recommend to grab a copy from the temple. We just I think it's €5 that we take. It's just to cover the cost of shipping and printing. That's it. So if you want to take, you can take it. You can reach out to what do you do? If somebody wants.
Yeah, I can.
Oh yeah. So Prabhuji can. So if anybody wants, like at the end, you can contact him and grab a copy of it and read it. It's really, it will change your life. Right? I was thinking, should we do a prayer? It's a little bit of okay, so I'll just do one prayer after this. Yeah, I'll open the floor for anybody to ask. Anybody has any questions. If I'm not able to answer, you can always, there are like senior devotees, senior Vaishnavas who can answer. I'm really not, just to be very clear, so I'm really not qualified to be sitting here and preaching this to you. But I'm trying with the blessing of Krishna and all the senior blessings of Acharyas. And if I have made any mistake, I really expect and request that you forgive me in your heart, and I continue to serve all of you like this. So yeah, if anybody has any questions, you can ask.
Thank you for the class.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, you said that you get the example you gave with the mind says get up and the intellect says stay in bed.
Yeah.
How do you differentiate between the mind and the intellect, and how do you obey the intellect and not the mind?
How do you?
Obey, or like
Do
what the intellect says and not the mind.
So, first thing is, they are separate entity in itself. Like mind and intellect are two different entities. Mind is something that tries to control us, and its life is a process of controlling the mind, bringing it under. And it only comes with discipline, Guruji. It only comes with, we might lack that motivation. Like, it's good to wake up in the morning at times. I also struggle if it is a very long day at work and then I have to, wake up at a certain time in the morning. Sometimes I struggle as well. But then what is the purpose? What is the goal? Why is the factor that basically drives us? For example, if I want to appear for an exam, I know the urgency of it, correct? I know the why it is important. It is important for my career. It is important to, for the skill up that I'm trying to do. The importance of it. So once we try to gain or understand the importance of what we are doing, then motivation factors develop. Now, not everybody is self-motivated. Yeah. So what we do, we seek help. We take help of ringing our maybe mother or father or friends, like ring me at that time if they wake up. So it is like so it is very important to understand that the mind. So if we try to do the right thing, that's mind. That's intellect. Not eating a lot of sugar. We know, but at times we just gulp our throat down with a lot of rasgullas or whatever sweets we want, and at the end we are struggling to, oh my God, breathe. I need to unbuckle my belt or something. Loosen up. So what it is? It's trying to serve if we think in that way, we are trying to serve our what? Which sense organ? Tongue. We are trying to satisfy our tongue. We are constantly trying to satisfy our sense organs. But when we start utilizing our sense organ in the service, even if in the material plane also, we know that we should be eating less. We have to be mindful of that. How do we do that? Being very mindful, reminding ourselves. It takes a lot of practice also. So that's what we should be aiming for. But that clarity needs to come. Correct that, this is right. This is what my goal is. And then you make a move, make some plans, take some help. Very, very important. You cannot really walk in this life by yourself. So always reach out for help. Does that answer?
Yeah, thank you.
A bit.
Yeah, just make it clear
It
what
is
the goal
something
is
like,
and move towards it.
Prabhu, do you want to add
no,
something?
I just wanted
Yeah,
to
yeah.
add my thoughts. It's something like you change your mindset from being enjoyer to server.
Yeah.
Moment I make myself as enjoyer, then I will start finding faults because our sense gratification never satisfies.
Yeah, true.
Even if I am enjoying the business class travel, I still feel, oh no, I should have my own career or flight.
Yeah.
So because I'm enjoying, so that
That's
causes distress, and sometimes your mind then starts working. And intellect comes in action when you are in the mode of server. You want to serve here or the living beings because everyone is part and parcel of.
Yeah.
So that probably will calm you or give you a differentiation. Like,
Yeah.
am I thinking
Yeah, but-
as an enjoyer or as a server? The same thing as a server is good. So envy as a server, I should be chanting, I should be serving more. That becomes your progress.
Krishna. Yes, so it's like that's a very wonderful point. When we say serving, it's not only that you're serving Bhagavan. Basically, when we delve deeper, it is like serving the devotee of the Lord. All serving different Vaishnavas. So in your life also, if somebody has their parents, their spouse, it's always we should have that serving mentality. How can I, take care of that person? And if it goes both ways, what happens? Very peaceful life is there. Oh, you're upset. What may, how can I correct it? So that serving attitude should be there instead of enjoy it. Yeah, that's the first thing. Like thinking from, and also different negative feelings that we have. Like for instance, rage. It is not bad when it is used in the service of the Lord and His devotees. For example, one good example that somebody like the rage was used in the service of the Lord. Very class example, very, very great devotee of Lord. Anybody can think of it? Hanumanji. Hanumanji burnt Lanka. He was very angry. But what was it, good or bad? It was good, right?
Yes.
What was the feeling? Rage, anger. The Ravan set his tail on fire. So he utilized that fire like, okay, this is half of the battle. Like, let me just, burn Lanka, and then percentage of the battle is like won there for Sri Ram. Correct? So that's what it is. Like we have to be. The servitor mode is because that's what we are. We are the servants of the Lord. Some people say like this for the first time, what do you mean servant? But that's what the reality is. And in life also, you will experience it only by practice. I can sit here and say, like give a very long talk, not only me, anybody, but if you're not bringing that into practice, it's a waste. We have to experience that in our heart as well. And that's how we progress. Okay? So, chanting. We feel very happy when we do something for someone. Right? And that's the quality of the soul that we have. And we do. You can just note it down and go back and it's like, oh, I did something for someone. Because some people do something and then they glorify themselves. That is a different thing. But that feeling is very beautiful, right? That, oh my God, I helped that person when that person was in need. Or somebody helped me when I was in need. Beautiful, beautiful thing. Imagine not everybody's like, no, I don't want to help people. What kind of world are we living in? So that's the quality of the soul, and that's all a person when goes into the devotional path is trying to revive that, because it is already there in us. We are just trying to be more mindful of other people and become that person in ourselves. Does that answer? Does anyone have any question? No?
Hi.
Yes, Mataji.
I think, for example, we are talking about mind, and when I want to enjoy, for example, I like to play football. It doesn't matter how, when I need to get up, 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. I get up. It doesn't matter because I want to enjoy. Now also I thinking when I play football, my mind very concentrate. For example, when I change Java, my mind running. But when I play football, my mind only concentrate when I enjoy my all sense. How to say?
Yeah.
Do this. And you talk about a service and how to do service also when this time or point when I do service and also my all senses or my mind all.
That's a very very good point. Yes, when we play something like he enjoys football, Prabhuji, and I personally enjoy badminton, and that's the reality. You are just focused on the court. You do not think of anything else. Just your badminton and your racket and your shuttle. So he's asking, basically his question is that when we try to do something like that, our mind is like supremely focused. We are trying to enjoy something for ourselves, right? But if you're trying to chant, and if you're trying to do any kind of service, then our mind goes in different directions. That's basically Arjuna asks in this, that what are you talking about controlling the mind? It's like I cannot control the mind. It is more powerful than the wind. Can we control the wind? And Arjuna is comparing mind, giving that an analogy that it's more powerful than the wind, like how to control the mind. And Krishna gives this example that abhyas, practice. That's it. So when we say practice, it is taking out some time from our 24 hours cycle of life every day to sit with us, to sit with our beings, to chant. And we do mantra meditation. So we are taking the holy name of the Lord, we are doing this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and we are trying to focus on that. Because in this age also our mind is so short, the time span of focus is what? It is just reducing with the constant use of mobile phones, etc. So that we have to make sure, we have to start with little, 5 minutes, if nobody has done any mantra meditation ever. So 1 round, if they want to chant, they can be different, like, so this is comes under Gauri Sampradaya, is the prayer that we read, the mantra that we chant. There might be other people who are doing different chanting, but it's important to take out, to make that discipline, take out and take some time out of your day and sit and chant. And then you increase gradually. And that's all Krishna is saying, that this is what it is. Because even Arjun couldn't control his mind. That's not the case. But Arjun is basically, the whole Gita is like, he's asking questions for us. He was a very, very revered devotee, very great warrior. But Krishna utilized Arjun to put him in that position so that, this situation can be created. He can start imparting knowledge so that us, the jivas like us sitting here, can benefit. Okay, and this is something. So Prabhuji, that's the whole thing I have from the Gita practice. But it is a reality. How do we do it? To be more mindful, to have this Sangha more and more, to have this association, it also have a very great impact.
I only think why I do a lot of things for my material enjoyment. I can sleep 0 hours per day, or have a lot of money, go another trip or something else. But for Lord Krishna, if I take 5 minutes, oh yes, it's okay, little. And then I do in my mind, no.
Oh, we have done enough. And imagine
It's possible.
he's an initiated devotee sitting among us, and he's so humble to ask this question. So, yeah, so we are all struggling, and that's what it is. So it's all practice. Practice.
A little follow-up
And-
question on that.
yes.
Sorry, you.
Yes, no.
So as he said that when we are playing or we were doing anything, our focus is just on that thing. So it's also the kind of a meditation that we were doing right now. And when
The reading.
whenever we are doing any sort of activity like playing badminton or playing football or whatever. So it's a kind of meditation. I mean,
Yes.
I'm just asking.
You complete your question, then I'll answer.
Okay. So it's a kind of a meditation. What I understood through these verses, Krishna said that to control your mind, you need to meditate. Whether it will be in a form of bhakti or in the form of those sort of activities.
He doesn't say that.
Like what I understood, because once I listened one famous sports person, he was also saying that when I was playing cricket or when I was playing any sort of sports, for me it's a kind of meditation.
Is that the end of the question?
Yeah.
That's the gist of the question. Okay, get it. So it's like you're asking that, if you're playing football and you're very focused, it's kind of a meditation. So we are focused, we have that, our mind is really occupied in that particular, because it's an activity. But is that something that that's food for our soul? Is it nourishing anything? It is giving you a lot of, what to say? When we say, let me be very clear, when we say meditation and when we say we chant anything, it is basically we are trying to clean our mind, which is filled with lot of doshas, lot of anarthas that they say. We have anger, we have greed, we have lust. And not only lust is not only like a sexual, there are lot of things that we, desires that we have. We have envy in us, and playing badminton and football, it will not get you clear, get rid of those anarthas that we have in our heart. Not a chance. It can help you focus, meditate, or function. You should play, because even to perform any sort of the devotional service, you need your body to be very good, very healthy. Why they said that wake up in the morning and do some yoga and everything is made to keep your body fit so that you can serve better to you, to your family, to the community. So there are two type of dharma basically we say, Swadharma and Sanatan Dharma. What is Swadharma? If anybody attended chapter 1, Swadharma, remember Prabhu? Swadharma. Self. Swadharma is we are present on this earth for whatever period of time. So our dharma is to serve our family, our community at a larger scale, people around us. Sanatan Dharma is what? Your soul. You have to also think about your soul. You can create clubs, people can come and all enjoy, have a good time, good. But there is a Sanatan Dharma also. What? To make people aware of their reality, their identity, to make them aware of the scriptures, the words of Shastra, the words of Veda, which are purest. Okay? So that is important. So that is good, like you play, but you are not going to get rid of the anarthas that you have. Not that you have, but us, we are not. And how we can do? By constantly chanting, taking the name of the Lord. soon and gradually our heart gets cleansed of those things. And it is a process. You'll only realize when you practice it. Eventually you realize that less things bother you. If something has happened, your perspective towards a certain thing has changed in a good way. Does that answer the question? Yes. So, yeah, do play. I also play, but but at the same time, you have to be mindful of. Like we have to take care of our mind, plain and simple. And how do you do? By having good association of devotees, by sitting like this and discussing shastras, gaining more understanding. More questions will arise. Bhagavad Gita is all about asking questions and Krishna answering. So that's how our approach in life should be. Ask questions. Ask good questions. Like asking questions is a sign of intelligence, but not like asking just to prove this point that I'm intelligent. I'm asking 50 questions. Getting like real that I'm sorry, I'm confused. Can you come again? That's what it is.
Just to add to Prabhuji's question.
Yes.
In the Mahabharata, when there is a war, it's already started, and before that Arjuna gets a doubt that should I really go into war and should I really be part of the war? But that's his duty. Krishna says that war is your duty, like we do any job, like you asked about playing football or whatever is your duty. But if we think of Krishna and if we think that Krishna has given me this job and let me do it because it's his instruction and let me offer it to him, that becomes a yoga. That's what Krishna explains to him, that although he is in a dilemma, he says, I just want to go out of all this and be a sannyasi and do meditation, but I don't want to participate in the war. He says, do participate in the war, go for a war, that's what I'm instructing you to do. Like Mataji said, you are my instrument. So Krishna would have done it, but Krishna made Arjuna his instrument.
Yeah, he doesn't say to Arjun, you should do this. No. He doesn't say this. Krishna gives all the knowledge that one should have to Arjun. And at the end, what does he say? Do as you please. But what was right for him to do at that point was engage in the war. So once you have the knowledge, you know what is your duty at that particular point of time, and then you adhere to it and you perform it, and you perform it with thinking that's the will of the God, and that's what it is. Okay, so that's what. So you have all. So Krishna gave him all the instruments that he needed for his mind, to gain that knowledge, and then Arjun did the right thing. That's what it is. Sorry, we have gone over but it's like it's always interesting for me that at the end of the lecture, every time I come here, there are people who ask very good questions, and some people don't ask, but I think it just helps, which is good. And what I'm thinking generally, on Friday we do kirtans. I am thinking today's Holi. Happy Holi to everybody. And I was thinking maybe we'll do a prayer. I wanted to sing, and not that I wanted to sing. Everybody should call and response. If you can sit for those who want to enjoy the kirtan. I think it runs for 9 p.m. Yeah. So no force to anybody. It's just there's this thing that we do every Friday, Bhagavad Gita reading session and then kirtan. So we'll just engage in one prayer. It's called, because it's holy and I'm just thinking about Lord Narasimha, it's called Pralaya Payodhi, and we can Google it and maybe sing it together. Right?
Mind spelling it out?
Oh yes, sorry. So it is written by Jayadev Goswami. It is called Pralaya Payodhi. Pralayapayodhi. Hare Krishna. I just think the morning bit of this, so I think we should like this one. Do you know to play? I should learn. I'll play this, the low beats. The fast beat I'll miss.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright. Have you opened? Okay, so this is, in this prayer, Jayadev Goswami writes about the 10 forms, the major ones that Bhagwan appeared in this Hare Krishna, appeared on this earth, starting from, he took a mean Sharira. What was the name of that form? So we will just read this. It's a very beautiful poem. Okay? So it's a call and response. I can read 1 2 line and then you can follow. Okay? Alright. Pralayapayodhi jale dhritvanasi vedam. Pralayapayodhi. Sing along. Dhritvanasi vedam. Vihitavahitra charitramapedam. Keshavadhita meena sharira. Jai Jagadish Hare. Jai Jagadish चलते क्षत्रशयं पूर्वते पौलस्त्वं जयते फलं कलयते कारुण्यं नात्तन्वते म्लेच्छामोच्यते दशकृति कृते कृष्णाय तुभ्यं नमः. You want to sing the Gita? Me? I'll just, okay, I'll try. What? Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, I'll try. So, I'll do I'll sing and then you know. Very good. Okay. Namaste Shri Radhe. Sing, everybody.
Namaste Shri Radhe.
Namaste Shri Sham.
Namaste Shri Sham.
Namaste Shri Radhe. 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 Namaste Shri Sham.
Namaste Shri Radhe.
श्री पंचतत्व भगवान की जय। जय श्री राधा माधव की जय। जगत गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि 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 बोल। So thank you everyone. I think we continue the Gita because I have to finish. Yeah. All right. So those who want to stay back, Prabhuji will be doing some kirtan. So please relish. And those of you, just a reminder, the people who want to grab a copy of Bhagavad Gita, please contact Prabhuji. If you do not have a copy of it, I would highly recommend that you do have. We do Bhagavad Gita reading sessions on Friday, so you're most welcome. And let us continue to serve us. All right, Hari Bol. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Now you enjoy the kirtan. This is the temple copy, yeah? All them call them, they'll come. They'll definitely come. Hari Bol. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna. Now we continue to sing Hare Krishna. Who wants to? Okay. Who wants to? Okay. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vashesha Deshatarine Hare Krishna, everybody. In here, can you see Hare Krishna mantra? I sing and then you repeat. It's kirtan. We sing together. It's okay?
Yeah.
If someone don't know, it's here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, can we use it together? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Everybody stand up, please. Okay. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Thank you. Now all sit and we pray Nisimha Pranam. Sit down, please.
Hare Krishna. Now we all will sing the Narasimha Arati, okay? And if anybody doesn't know, please repeat after me. Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Prahlad Ladadaine. Prahlad Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya. Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल पंचतत्व की जय की जय प्रहलाद महाराज की हरिनाम संकीर्तन की गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल.
Everybody, now little prasad.
Please have some prasad before leaving. Hari Bol.
Prasad. Prasadam. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for good dancing. Thank you. Thank you.
It was very nice. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
It's all online right? On YouTube.
This is one of my music.
That the Prabhu was reading, so I got this one, and so I thought, okay.